Dr. Kobus, how are you?
Very fine, very fine.
Uh,
It had lot of raining and it's wonderful. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Um,
I swam this morning and did some water aerobics, so I'm very calm and everything. Yes.
is it so? Why do you do these activities in the morning? Like, is it part of your routines?
I 3 times a week I go for exercise
Mm-hmm.
because I feel there's four things in life
Mm-hmm.
that's very important.
Yeah.
And the one thing is you must sleep enough,
Mm-hmm.
8 hours a night.
Mm-hmm.
You must eat well. Thirdly, you must do exercise.
Yeah.
And the fourth thing, you must have inner happiness. And
Okay.
that is perhaps the most important thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm happy at the moment.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
I know you are. You can just tell us what is your occupation, so that we just know what is that you do. Then we can just get into the state of happiness that you are in. So what do you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. I want to bring happiness to people.
Yeah.
And I'm now retired, and now I do counselling at the moment. I was a hospital chaplain,
Yeah.
and after I've retired, now I've got my own counselling room,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to bring happiness to people. People that comes here, there's usually something that's bothering them, and I'm trying to help them to find peace again. Yeah, to
Nice.
find peace again.
That's nice. That's nice. So the activities that you just mentioned at first, that you go for swimming, eating healthy, and being happy. So is that what part of your medicine that you give to your patients
Yeah.
who come here?
Yeah, that's part. You see, what is happiness? Happiness is a very difficult thing to define,
Yeah.
but happiness means to be full,
Okay.
to be full. And the thing that I usually mention to my clients is that if you look at a baby, then you will see that the baby, especially after breastfeeding or feeding, will lay their arms wide open and legs wide open,
Yeah.
full of happiness.
Yeah.
Now, why is the happiness there? Because the baby experience that there is provision, that there is provision, and there is a mother that's there, and the baby, tomorrow the mother will be there again. And happiness is like the baby that trusts tomorrow, that trusts tomorrow. He knows that that the mother will be there tomorrow and the breast. But then it is very important that it's also a religious thing, provision,
Yeah. Yeah.
that God, for Israel, God provided,
Yeah.
and He led them out of Egypt, and then He provided the sun, the cloud during the day, and during the night the fire, and then in the morning He gave them things to eat. But then Jesus came and said, "You must not care about tomorrow.
Okay.
Look at the birds of the heaven. Look at the lilies of the field. I provide them." And that is actually the deepest sense of happiness. You feel there is provision for you. And that is why in this time it is so such a pity that there are so many people in our country who's hungry and who feels that there is not provision for them.
I really love how you explained how happiness comes, which is primarily you're saying that it's one of the things could be provision, right? So I know you're also a clinical psychologist.
Must I look there?
No, you can look at me.
You
Don't
look
worry,
at
you can
you.
look at
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So don't look at the camera. The camera is
Yeah.
just to take us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But mostly you said that it's happiness which comes through provision. I know that you're also a psychoanalytical analyst, right?
Psychoanalyst, yeah.
Psychoanalyst, yes.
Yeah.
So things like depressions are being caused by lack of jobs. Do you link provision and lack of jobs
Yeah.
in the same thing?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Very much the same.
So how are these two things related?
Yes, you see, if you just say provision, so if you hadn't got a job,
Yeah.
you can't provide for yourself, you can't provide for your family. Yeah, you see, and that's a terrible thing because Sigmund Freud, who is one of the big psychoanalysts, he did a lot about one's history.
Okay.
But they asked him, but what about the future? So he said, the future, the happiness in future is about work
Okay.
and love.
Work and love.
Those are the two main things. And if you haven't got work, it's a terrible thing. There's an emptiness that comes along. And that's, I've written a book about old age, and that is one of the things in old age that you do and don't work anymore. So, and I can't accept that, in my job you must go on pension when you are 65.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it,
Yeah.
You're still very young when you're 65.
Yeah.
So why go on pension, But then many a time it's an imperative in the working place to go on pension. And I feel, especially in South Africa, it's too early. Many people in America work until their 80s, 90s, and that sort of thing. Yesterday, on Sunday,
Yeah.
I had a reunion of my old hostel at Stellenbosch.
Okay.
And all the people that were in the hostel until 1980,
Okay.
they were there. They were there.
And then how was that like?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Just wonderful seeing all the, not all, there wasn't much of my own year there. But then the oldest one was 87. And he was still so young and everything. So, yeah.
So now I heard you now talking about the book that you wrote on old age,
yeah.
right? So why now do you say that 65 is too low? What really happens then because now we're talking about happiness.
Yeah.
So if someone now takes away work, you said that Sigmund Freud said that it's work and love.
Yeah.
And I think those are the most powerful things that drive a human being.
Yeah.
So now when now work is taken away from you at the age of 65.
Yeah.
What is it that you wrote about in terms of the impact? What impact does that have on the person?
There's you see, there's a sense of emptiness.
Okay.
Where you always began work 8 o'clock in the morning. When 8 o'clock comes, you're still at work, at home. And the thing about feeling values in life, value is very much related to work.
Yeah.
But now it's wonderful what people can do. That's one of the things that that interests me very much.
Yeah.
Is creativeness. Creativeness, and there was a person that was in the Nazi camps, Auschwitz, and I'm just struggling now to find his name, but I'll find it. And he said that it's all about values, all about values.
Okay.
And if you can't experience values anymore,
Yeah.
he said you must go to 3 values.
Okay.
To 3 values. The first value is creative values.
Creative values. Okay.
You must try to be creative. Try to be creative. So if you can't work anymore, why can't you start working in your garden or give food for people? Creative.
Yeah.
Then he said there's an experiential value.
Okay.
How can you experience life? Just sitting back in the morning, feeling the sun on you, life in your nostrils, sitting back, experiencing, experiencing the love of your wife or experiencing the life of people. But then he has the most wonderful value is an attitudinal value.
Okay.
Attitudinal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What attitude
Yeah.
do you have to this feeling of emptiness?
Yeah.
The one person will say, okay, no, I'm going to commit suicide. The other person will say, no, my attitude towards that is there's still some value in life. And it's very interesting that this person said, even the person that go to the gallows,
Yeah. Yeah.
at that stage he can have an attitude.
Yeah.
He can have an attitude that's positive.
That's quite interesting. So let me just bring it home now. For you, when you retired, how long did it take for you to now have your own office where you start doing your own work?
You see, the wonderful thing is that whilst I was between 25 and 30 years, I was hospital chaplain.
Okay.
So later, as hospital chaplain, I started getting people in my office.
Okay.
And then somebody came to me and he said, but he will give me an office.
Okay.
And so and then I started
So
here. It was, I think, about 3 to 4 years. I'm here now, and now what I do is 2 things. The one thing that's very important, I don't want to overload myself.
Okay.
I don't want to overload. I want still to play.
Nice.
Still to play.
Yeah.
So I do 2 things. I get people here that come to see me, and I study.
Okay.
And I study. I study for my books that I write. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the book that you're currently writing about. You're writing about
the book that I currently write is about the baby.
Okay. The last time I talked to you, you said you were writing about music.
The what?
Music.
Oh, yeah. No, you see, that's a very interesting thing that you say.
Yeah.
Because that's my point of departure.
Okay.
That I look at the image of God.
Okay.
At the image of God, And the image of God is, there are many different views on what is the image of God, but the image I choose is the dancing,
Okay.
the dance.
Yeah.
If you look at the Trinity, a certain theologian said God danced with Jesus, and Jesus danced with the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
So there's dancing the whole time.
Yeah.
And we, as image of God, image of the Trinity,
The Trinity, yes.
must dance.
Okay.
So that's my life mission. I want to dance. That's what it is to dance with life. Dance with life. Now, to dance, you must have music, and that to me is still the difficult thing, how to bring what type of music. So you can go to the Bible. I've read just 1 Kings, and it was about David and Saul. Saul was very down, and David played for him,
Okay.
and suddenly he was lifted up. He started dancing. He started dancing.
Sure,
You
sure.
see, and I think that's the thing which I'm not yet got my
Developed,
hands
yeah.
fully around it. But for instance, I'm going now next week to one of our foremost people on animal life, and I want to ask him about the dancing in animal life.
Yeah.
And you get animals, especially when they're sexually aroused, want to dance. You know,
Oh, I see.
the a male dances and show its feathers.
Like peacocks, yeah.
Yeah, peacocks.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
yeah,
it. They dance. So and then the other thing is Nureyev, who was a big ballet dancer. I watched the film on him, and his supervisor asked him, "Why do you dance? What is the goal of dance?"
Yeah.
And then the supervisor said to him, "It is to tell a story. One dances to tell a story."
Yeah.
And when you go, for instance, to one of the wonderful stories about the dancing is the Lord of the Dance.
Yeah.
Where Jesus, the story was there.
Yeah.
Jesus was dancing, and the story he told, it's there that he told the story to Peter and John and everyone, and they danced with him. But then the Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't want to dance.
Yeah.
And then there was this wonderful thing: you can't dance with the devil on your back.
Yeah.
So Jesus' dancing story was, "Come and dance with me. Come and join me."
Okay.
And others said, and that's sin. Sin is, I can't dance.
Okay.
Sin is, I can't dance. There's not
that's-
happiness.
I like how you can take something which is literally like you can't really mix the two, but now just after you explained it kind of like makes sense that dancing, you're mixing dancing, which is from music, dancing to create this person. So the other thing that I want to find out is, what is your process in writing? How do you write? What brings up the topics of writing? Because
Writing,
now I know now you just talked about your writing lady, your latest book you're writing on babies.
yeah.
So what is your process into finding a topic that you want to write about?
First thing, you must remember, why do one write? You write because you've got a question.
Okay, nice. I like it.
Writing
Yeah.
a book is an answer on your question. And the question that I asked, Jesus said, you must become like children. And now I ask the question, what did Jesus meant? What did he mean when he said, you must become like children?
Yeah.
And now every morning I ride past the school here with all the little children there. And I just is astonished how they dance, how they play, how lively they are.
They're free, yeah.
What is their message to us?
To us, yeah.
What is their message to us? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I start the book from the beginning. Why do we want children?
Nice.
What is parenthood? What is a male or father? And what is a mother? Why do we want children? What is the role of a child? If you look in the animal world,
Yeah.
the lioness will fight to the death for the cub. Same with the mother. She will fight to the death. Now there are all those things. Okay, now I go to the senses. To the senses. Eyes, ears, mouth, all those things.
Yeah.
If you think about the mouth, what is about the mouth? Salt.
To speak. To speak.
No.
Taste.
If you eat,
To taste.
eat,
To
taste,
taste.
taste.
Yes.
That's the thing. If
Yeah.
you taste, and now it's wonderful that Jesus said, or Paul said in Collins, said, your words must be like salt. Your words must taste like salt.
Okay.
And now that's what I say in my book. One of the senses is the mouth. And you speak. And that speech of you must be
Like salt.
like salt.
So which means it
You
brings
must
taste.
heal people. You must respect people. Yeah, you know that salt. Salt is a preservation. Is a preservation.
Yeah.
And your speech must preserve friendship. You must not produce
Enemies.
Enemies.
Yeah.
And that is.
So, with now being old, or of old age rather, right? What is it that you could be the message that you want to give to young people, looking at the stuff that are happening now, whether it be social media, people being depressed and having all these social problems. So, what would you advise to say that, okay, this is the one thing that I would advise maybe young people to start doing from now onwards?
To find themselves. To find themselves. We live with masks. We live with masks.
Yeah.
We say what other people say. We must find our own words.
Okay.
And then there's a chapter. I'm writing 3 books now.
Okay.
And the 3rd book, the chapter that I have is on what is a good person.
Okay.
What is a good person. And you know Nadal?
Is it the
The
cricket?
tennis player.
Tennis, yes.
He's now, perhaps he's on his way to become the GOAT. GOAT being the greatest of all time.
Yes.
And they asked him the other day,
Yeah.
what is your future? And he said, I don't want to become the best player. I want to become a good person. And that is one of the things that I strive, and goodness means integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity. It's like a apple.
Okay.
You can cut it through,
Okay.
from bottom to end, through and through.
Yeah.
It's healthy, and
Wow.
that's integrity. You know, the other time, a week ago, I phoned my friend about his birthday, and I was a day late. And when he took up his cell phone, he said, I knew you would phone.
Wow.
Eh?
Yeah.
Through and through.
Oh, so which
I
means
trust you through and
and
through.
through, wow.
You will never disappoint me.
Sure,
You will
sure.
never disappoint me. And that's the biggest thing we must strive. Integrity.
integrity.
Yeah.
I really like that. And the other things which you talk about integrity that they must find themselves, right? What is your opinion on health and wealth? Like what is your opinion on these two things in terms of health and
You
wealth?
see, if you read Genesis 49, I think Genesis 49,
Yeah.
Jacob was busy with his sons.
Yeah.
And then he talked about Reuben. And he said to Reuben, you were like water, just running your way.
Yeah.
There was no end to you. You never stopped. And that is what sin is.
Okay.
Sin is you start with money, but you can't stop.
Oh.
Sin is that you begin with sexuality, but you end with lust.
Oh.
And you see, that is my view upon wealth. If you start with money and you can't stop, then that's sin.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
not being able to
To
stop.
be in control,
You,
yeah.
like running water. And in Reuben's case,
Okay.
it was that he committed adultery with his father's wife. So Jacob said to him, you could have been the most important of all your brothers. You were the eldest.
Yeah.
They could have spoken in Israel. Abram, Isaac, Jacob, and Reuben.
And Reuben.
But never again. Now they will talk about
Jacob,
Abram,
Isaac, and
Jacob, and Judah. Judah.
Yeah.
No more Reuben, because you couldn't control yourself. You were out of, and that is sin.
Wow.
To be out of control. And now in health and wealth, if you can't control your wealth,
yeah.
and if you, the same with
health,
almost all the things.
Yeah.
If you can't control yourself, there's no breaks. There's no breaks.
Yeah.
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 I think this other time I talked to you, and then you said that
What you said?
the other time I talked to you, you said that you once traveled to study abroad.
Yeah.
So you can just tell me how, just tell us how that was, and then what were you actually doing there,
Yeah.
and which countries did you go to
Yeah.
as well?
I went to especially America, studied on infertility.
Okay,
Infertility, not being able to have children.
children, yeah.
And so I went to study there. One of my most wonderful experience in America. Oh,
Okay.
it was wonderful.
What did you say you
I know,
You
you
liked the
know,
most, yeah.
it was in 1982.
Okay,
1982.
yeah.
So at Stellenbosch, you could, at the library, got 3 books.
Okay.
So I went to the library in Princeton, and I asked them how many books can I take home, and the lady said to me, "What have you got here? A wheelbarrow or a car or what?" And she said, "What you've got here, you can fill it
Wow.
with books. You can fill it with books.
Yeah, yeah.
If you go on the campus, there was always the students saying, hi, hi, friendly.
Sure.
And the people, one morning, I always, every morning went to buy the New York Times. And then the lady said something to me. And I went back to her, said, pardon? She said, you have a good day. And I said, okay, thank you. She said, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
Very friendly,
Friendly,
people.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
friendly. So I don't fall for the story that they said the Americans are loud spoken and that. That's not my experience. That was not my experience.
So your experience was quite different from how it's portrayed.
Yeah, yeah, but then I think you must remember the eastern side and the western side
Yeah.
of America. There's a difference. The western side is more the intellectual side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, you see, the eastern side is Hollywood.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
that's
I see.
that's Los Angeles, Hollywood,
California.
There's the artists. The western side is the intellectuals.
So, what is it that you liked the most when you were in America?
Variety. That you know that in that one country there can be a drought and rainfall. There can be a tornado, and all in the same place, and then just their how they developed.
They developed, okay. Yeah,
Developed
yeah.
country, yeah.
Well, that's good. The other thing that I want us to just talk about maybe is the spirit, soul, and body. I think it's one of the things that you probably might have just talked about a little bit on the dancing.
The
The dancing, the spirit, soul, and body.
the spirit, soul, and body.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing. You see, if you read the New Testament, Paul, you can read the New Testament and especially Paul through 3 spectacles.
Okay.
3. Plato,
Okay.
Greek.
Yeah, yeah.
Second, Roman Empire. Thirdly, Old Testament. And the problem with the way we read the Bible
Okay.
still today is through Plato.
Okay.
Plato. And what did Plato say? He said, here within you is the soul.
Yeah.
And the soul is within a prison.
Okay.
And the prison is the body.
Okay.
The prison is the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is the body? The body is sexuality, and the body is the anal, that you go and you must walk once a day and that sort of thing.
Sure.
The body is not a good thing. So the soul must arise
Okay.
out of the body and go.
Okay.
And that is how we see today religion. What is religion? We must leave the soul and go to heaven. But the Old Testament,
Okay.
if you read through the Old Testament,
Yeah.
the Old Testament tells us we are not going to heaven.
Okay.
Heaven is coming to earth. And what must we do on earth? We must be God's children.
Yeah.
Okay, but now we must respect the body. Yes, not the soul. The soul is a part of the body, and the soul is that aspect, that dimension,
Yeah.
where we can get into contact with God. Yeah. So the soul is psychological. The soul is bodily. The soul is your senses. You can see God through the eyes.
Yeah.
Flowers. You can hear God through the waves and the sea.
Yeah.
You can touch God through touching the life of your loved one, the body of your loved one. So we do not have a body. We are the body. We do not have a body. We are our body.
Okay.
And big thing is not heaven. Big thing is that heaven will come to earth. And at the end, we will be here,
Yeah.
fully bodily, just
Just as if we are the souls. Just as if we are the souls.
other body.
So we'll just be a body.
Yeah.
By the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have a renewed body. We will be a renewed person. Person.
Yeah.
Bodily and psychologically and everything. But the big thing that you must remember
Yeah.
is that we aren't in the first place going to heaven. Heaven is coming to earth. From the beginning in the Old Testament, God came to
earth.
Adam and Eve.
Okay. Yeah.
Then he said, I'll go to Moses and I'll give him the 10 Commandments. And then he came and he said what's that in English that they must build?
The ark. Yes.
The ark.
Yes.
No. The thing that...
Oh yeah, the chariot, the one.
Yeah,
with the,
that's it.
Yes, yeah.
And there you will find God. And then he said, then there will come the temple.
Yes. Yes.
And then he said, we will break the temple down. And then?
Come into us.
Then came Jesus. And then after Jesus left, he sent the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So, firstly, heaven is coming to earth.
Oh, that's quite interesting, Dr. Kobus.
But you must just now remember, you must read the Old Testament not through Plato,
Okay.
but through the Old Testament. You must read Paul through the
Old Testament.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing that I want to find out is, what does it mean to be great?
What does it mean?
What does it mean to be great?
To
Like, to become a great person. What does it mean to be great?
just repeat.
What does it mean to be great? To be a great person?
To be a great person.
Yes.
Oh, a great. You know that to be a good person.
It's like to be a good
Yeah,
person.
so that is a good person. And where do you find the good person? You will find it in the, what was that of Jesus? Jesus said, "Salig is hulle wat the what is that in English?
When he said,
Be grace, be blessed are they, those. There you will find
oh,
greatness. Yeah, the
nice.
good person. Blessed are they. Blessed are they. Those are the main components
Yeah.
of Christianity.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice, Dr. Kobus. I just love how you're willing to teach, you're willing to help other people, and I mean you're making a very great impact in lots of people's lives, and it's you find it very hard because now I just want, like, it's something that I want us to kind of like. How do we now, as young people, train ourselves to become someone who's who's gonna have maximum impact? So how do we build our character to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
maximum?
You know, you must remember Scully. There was this film about Scully.
Okay.
And Scully was the person when his Boeing developed, was on fire. He landed in the river in New York.
Okay.
Why did he do that? That was character. An amateur, a young pilot would not have done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Scully was a professional pilot.
Yeah.
He could do it. And to become good, you must learn that. You must practice it.
Yeah.
I do it now with my sunglasses. If I so many a time I find, oh, the sunglasses is still on my eyes.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on that. If I stop my car, I say, take off your sunglasses, put it in the... And if I stop, I say, open, take it out. So I am training myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what good character is. You must train yourself. I've got a couple here who is very childish. The other day they were very angry with each other.
Yeah.
And when they went back, she went and sat at the back of the car, and he in front. She must train herself. When they had opposite views and can't come together, she must learn to sit in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
She must train herself to do the good things. So it's all about training.
Yeah.
And we as elderly person must train the younger people. That's what old age is. Old age is on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You can look far. You can look far and you can teach the people at the bottom of the mountain.
So, what is that one thing that you would love to teach yourself? What is that the one thing that you say?
Integrity.
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 Okay.
That's to me perhaps goodness. Integrity.
Yeah.
To be good through and through. If you cut the apple from the beginning, from the top to the bottom,
Yeah.
good, good.
Good. So, I just want to find out now, because you're talking about integrity. For someone who has messed up already, how do they now, how are they supposed to take it from here moving forward? How do they build integrity from now on?
The first thing that people must discover
Yeah.
that they are not, there's no integrity.
Okay.
They must be true to themselves. And that's a wonderful thing about some people here. I've got three types of people. Clever and dumb,
Okay.
rich and poor,
Okay.
and then good and bad. Good and bad.
Yeah.
Bad people are those people that has got affairs and everything. Bad people, but bad people can also become good when they say, I am bad. When he confesses
Confess it, yeah.
when there's insight. And that is, if you look at the politicians in our country, from top to bottom, they never say they're wrong. There's always
Another thing that they say.
there's
Yeah.
always, and that to me is, I've got a case study here of a minister who is involved with a married couple's wife, and yesterday someone asked me, Willie, and he was kicked out of the church, and somebody asked me, will he ever could come back? And I said, he could come back if he will say, I have sinned, and I am sorry.
Okay.
But he don't want to do that.
Is it why? Why don't you want to do that?
Just like the politicians here, they can't accept their wrongdoings. Can't accept it. They don't want to look at that. They don't want to touch it. Always, yeah. And if somebody can come and be open about their faults, that's the first that we can start.
Oh,
That's
I
the first.
see. I see.
If the mask is off,
It's
if
off,
the
yeah.
mask is off.
Yeah. So I see there's like a reoccurrence of topics, which is infidelity. Usually we talk about this from the men's side of things, right? So why do you think that there's so much infidelity on the men's side? I know women also do that, but why is it that mostly
That's the same.
is it the same?
Yeah. You see, but that's the Bible's incorrectness. They always put the blame on the women.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So there's a lot of the fault is with men also. A lot of men. Yeah, and so it's 50-50. Yeah.
So what's causing it to get to a point where there's topics like infidelity that are happening, and
Then you must go to a specialist, and he will test He will test the ovaries of the woman, the sperm of the man, and he will tell you if it's a physical thing, and many a time it's a psychological thing, and many time there is no problem.
Okay.
Many a time can't find the problem,
Yeah.
and many a time if there is a problem, suddenly there's a baby.
So it just shows that there's someone who's in control,
Someone,
who is in control.
what do you say?
So which means that there's someone who is in control, like God is the one who gives children.
That's a very difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very difficult thing. God gives children through people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, He doesn't just send a baby.
Yeah.
He uses people.
Uses people, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the problem with many, that they say, I'm praying and praying and praying, there's no baby. But many a time it's because there's a problem with the sperm or the eggs of the woman, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice. It was nice having you.
Okay,
Kobus.
okay.
I believe we will have another one. We'll continue talking about this kind of topics, but I really appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you.
Taking the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So have a wonderful night, and
Thank you very much.
I'll just let you know when everything has went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Have a wonderful one.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah.